Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Nana, and today we're going to be exploring the profound impact of understanding your why and the impact it has on your career. Joining us is Emma Lamb, CEO and Client Relations Officer of Four Leaf Performance. She'll be sharing with us her personal journey and insights into discovering her why and how it has shaped her career. So let's get into it. Emma, can you explain the concept of why and its impact on the context of career choices and decisions?
Absolutely. So the YOS is a concept that helps you understand who you are at your core and how you communicate your values. So it's based on identifying your why, which is like your driving force, your how, which is your internal operating system. You can kind of see that as like a computer, like the tech that works within it, and your what. So it's your external messaging system. So the YOS is the full 3D image of your unique combination of these elements. So it's kind of an all encompassing thing about yourself and how you operate.
So, how important is it to align your personal values with your career decisions?
I would say it's very important. You love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So knowing your why and knowing, what drives you, what makes you wake up in the morning, I think that makes a profound impact on, your career choices. I think a lot of people go into careers thinking about how much money they're going to make or how much PTO they'll be able to take off work. And I think actually aligning your why to your career is super important. I'm sure I'll touch on it a little bit later specifically. But I think having those two going hand in hand will help you a lot in your career and even, you know, pursuing other things in your career.
In your experience, how has discovering your why transformed your own career trajectory?
Absolutely. So, to give a little bit of background, I graduated college in 2022, so last year. I went to school as um, I started off as an athletic training major, ended up going into physical therapy. I took a minor in nutrition, so definitely biology based and science based. Unfortunately, I was in college when COVID had hit, so everything had gone online and I was not learning to the best of my ability. Trying to do anatomy online was not helpful. I preferred being in the classroom. I preferred being able to be in the lecture, then watch the recording of the lecture, and then take my own notes. So doing that during COVID was not, it didn't work out for me. So a few months later, after I had graduated, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I had turned to my parents and I said, I don't feel ready to do physical therapy. I don't feel ready to get into 3 more years of, higher education when I'm not 100% sure that physical therapy is what I wanted to do. So my dad had recently just gotten YOS certified. He had heard about it from another conference he was at. And he said, well, why don't we just, you take your Y, it may tell you a little bit about yourself, kind of where you need to go. And I didn't think much of it. I'm a big proponent of, the Enneagram or DISC and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of kind of personality and knowing yourself better tests that I had taken previously. So I had taken the Y and I had gotten the results of make sense, mastery, and contribute. So when I had realized that, my why being make sense is that I believe success happens when we make sense of the complex. So, not being able to get my hands, I would say, dirty in internships and being able to be hands on with professors and being able to be in the classroom and collaborating with students, there's a reason why I didn't end up wanting to pursue physical therapy because I wasn't able to make sense of the complex when I was in college. My how being mastery. So, how I do that is by seeking depth, breadth, and details. Kind of again with make sense is I have to master something before I move to the next step. And the fact that I felt behind when I had graduated, even though I had made good grades and I had excelled in my classes, I still felt like I hadn't mastered, the basics of anatomy or the basics of, medical terminology and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't feel capable to move forward in my career. And then ultimately, what I bring is a way to contribute and add value. I know a lot of people don't like doing presentations or doing, thesis projects. I love doing that stuff. I, again, wasn't able to do that during COVID, or at least in the personal setting. So again, that was just a reason why I didn't feel ready to get into physical therapy and get my doctorate. So learning all of this at one level is just thinking, okay, great, this is my why. But when you actually connect it back to, what's driving you, what makes you wake up in the morning, I think seeing this showed me that I had made the right decision to not continue moving forward with physical therapy. Now, I had taken the year off. I had decided, let me, figure out what I want to do. Andrew had just told me to come into the office, just help around with a few things, get things organized, get in touch with clients, make sure things are scheduled. And I picked up on that really fast. Being able to be in person, being able to make sense of the complex situations, people that need to get rescheduled, people that had, complicated schedules, being able to master that. So knowing, how our CRM system works and all of these sorts of tools that we use, and then being able to contribute that either back to my team or back to our clients. So when you do connect your YOS to either your previous career and your, current career or future career, it really does show you, it almost highlights what you're good at already.
Wow, that's interesting. Your career is definitely moved to so unexpectedly to like a different direction. But thank you so much for shedding light on the importance of aligning your personal values with career decisions and how discovering one's why can transform your career trajectory. So your perspective is definitely eye-opening. Now let's take a step back and learn more about this career journey before that pivotal moment where you discovered your why. So, can you tell us more about the experiences that led you to question your previous career choices?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, to go back to COVID, I was usually really good at, taking online classes. I had no problem with time management. That definitely was not my issue when it came to, when things had moved online. I think the lack of, and a lot of people say this, the lack of the person to person communication rather than just being on a computer. That was something that I really struggled with. I missed, working with groups, doing projects, just doing study groups, even just going to a coffee shop and studying with a friend. You're not even talking to that friend, but at least you're in the room with them. I think that was something that I had noticed pretty early on when COVID had kind of started. And I thought previously that I wouldn't have a problem. I can be a lone wolf. I can study as I need. It's not a big deal. But I think seeing that and then deciding to go into a medical field where you are dealing with a lot of that every day, doing things online, not always being in person. I think that was something that I did not want because I already didn't enjoy it. And I think getting my why and realizing that I like to contribute to a bigger cause connects to being in person. I think you can make an impact online. The internet is kind of crazy now. You can do a lot of work online, but I think still that in person connection with someone. I wasn't able to do internships. I wasn't able to go into nursing facilities and hospitals and actually make a palpable difference in people's lives. I think that's something that I was really kind of strayed away from physical therapy when COVID had kind of started. So I think that had triggered the shift to something different, where business is you're able to do a lot of stuff online, but you're also able to make an impact in person. You're able to network with people. You're able to go to conferences. You're able to meet with clients in person. So you are able to juggle that, in person and online kind of conversation.
Um, Can you talk more about the feelings of dissatisfaction or uncertainty that you had with your previous career path,
Mhm.
if it has at all led to any decision
Mhm.
that you had into exploring your why?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, grad school is expensive. I don't think grad school is something that someone should jump into lightly if they're not 100% sure that that's what they want to do. Um, I could have, to be candid, sucked it up. I was already 4 years into kind of into a career through college, and I had always taken classes knowing that, I may not like the topic that's in this class, but at least I'll be learning something that I can use for the rest of my life, whether that is, math skills or person skills or time management or how to take notes, whatever the topic may be. But still being on the fence about physical therapy when I had graduated, I took that as a sign that I needed to reflect a little bit more before I just went with the normal, you know, life path of others to just stick through it and get through it. And I think when I had reflected with it, friends that I had talked to who are now in the medical field, they were thinking different things than me. They weren't thinking of, can I get through the 3 years? They weren't thinking, how am I going to get through studying, for other classes? They were already thinking about their career after grad school. I hadn't even thought past, the grad school to even get my doctorate. So physically I was still a step behind everyone else. And again, I took that as kind of a flag to say, okay, let me really think through this decision before I, decide to get into grad school. So I think those feelings were something that I couldn't express to others because my response would be like, I don't think I'm ready, or I don't feel capable. Um, I don't feel smart enough. I think those are a few things that people would say when they want to go to grad school but aren't sure. And it's not that I didn't not feel those feelings, but when I had taken my why, it had shown me that I have to master things, I have to make sense of things, and I have to contribute things. I did not master everything in college. I did not make sense of everything in college, and I wasn't able to contribute everything in college. So there's a valid reason why I didn't feel ready to go to physical therapy school because of the operating system that drives me. So I would have really been lying to myself if I decided to go through with physical therapy school. And ever since taking my why, and ever since kind of aligning myself back to what I, love the most, I wake up every day happy to go to work. I never wake up thinking I've made the wrong decision. I am so happy that my friends have continued in the healthcare field. I think that they do amazing things in their field. That is just not for me. And I'm glad I found that out early. And I remember the first thing that I said to my dad after I had taken it and kind of actually like soaked it in and really knew what it was about is that every single college student has to take this because they think they're good at something and they think that that's what they want to, achieve for the rest of their lives. When in reality, a simple 10-minute, 15-minute test assessment will really show them what they need to be doing. And it's been proven. It's been proven with myself. It's been proven with Andrew. When Andrew gives his testimonial on it, from moving to corporate, feeling burnt out, to then running his own business and being able to have a better way of doing things, it really is life changing when you hear people's stories when they've taken their why and made such a big career change. 4 years was invested in that. So to really step away from that was a big pill to swallow. But I wake up every day happy that I made that decision, and I wouldn't have made that decision if I hadn't known my why.
That is incredible. So, your candidness about all these challenges that you've faced in your previous career path is so relatable, and it's remarkable how self reflection has led you to where you are today. Can you share more about the process that led you to discovering your why?
Absolutely. So, um, I think a lot of people are familiar with DISC and Myers-Briggs and certain assessments like that. I believe you take Myers-Briggs when you like go to a career counselor in college, and they try to share with you all the different algorithms of letters and what things make sense of what. So I had taken that before, but I didn't really take anything to heart because with Myers-Briggs, I think it gives you like the top 20 careers that you would be good at, and it varied from cosmetologist to potato farmer to teacher. And it was such a wide net that I was like, where do I even start? Like, where do I even start from here? So whenever Andrew had said, oh, you just take your Y, my first response was, I don't want to do that. I don't want another assessment to tell me who I am, to tell me what I should be doing. You know, I think some people see it as like a magic 8 ball. You rub it and you hope it'll get the response that you want. But with the YOS, it's asking you questions of, how would you respond in this certain situation? What words resonate the most with you? So it's a very simple test. It takes about 10 minutes. I don't remember the exact number of questions. I think it does vary on your responses, like other tests, but it literally takes about 10 minutes. It's super simple. At the end of that, you get a finished page, and it shows you that you've discovered your YOS. And then from there, you read through your why, your how, your what. The nice thing about the Y Institute is that they show you people with a similar why. So people who are a contribute are very much reflected like Mother Teresa. That's a great thing. So it's nice that whenever you discover your why, you're like, okay, I'm just like this person. It also brings up, career choices. So certain things for me for mastery are, very high level. If I understand, everyone will understand. So kind of careers like that, kind of executive roles. It also goes into, personal dynamics, family relationships, what strengths do you have, the challenges that you'll have with your why, because not everything is daisies and rainbows. There are hard things when it comes to my why. Point being, I have to make sense of the complex. Therefore, it will take me longer to know things and learn things and be able to absorb everything. But the moment that I do know, everyone else around me will know. So when I've learned it, everyone else has learned it because I've had to make sense of everything. Same with mastery. When I have mastered it and when I can reflect it back to you, everyone else around me should be able to do that too because I've been taking a little bit longer. So that's something that I think is really important, especially in the process. That there are pros and cons of each why, but knowing them also almost lets you foreshadow your actions. So knowing that it's going to take me longer to do something, I put a longer deadline on something because I know that deadline will, I'll be able to hit that. I'm not going to make myself do something in 24 hours when I know it'll take me 72 hours. So yeah, process is super simple.
And how did you feel the moment you identified your why?
I was at first, the moment I took it, I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. I think that was my original response. And then, as I had mentioned earlier, after learning that, I was like, wow, everyone needs to do this. But I think the moment I had identified my why, I think all of the lonely feelings I was having being post grad and trying to figure out, the rest of my life. I'm 22, 23 now, but 22 trying to figure out what career do I want to go into, what career do I need to go into? What loans do I need to take out that I'll probably be paying for the rest of my life, right? Like those are big decisions to be making at 22 years old. Like you're an adult, but you don't necessarily feel like an adult. You've been in college for 4 years. You're kind of like, wow, this is the real world. And just being able to see that physically on a screen answer all of the doubts that I had had about my career previously, I think was just like such a sign, like just I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders because I could actually articulate to people why I didn't continue to go to PT school, why I didn't continue down the healthcare route. Because when you graduate and you see everyone for the first time, their response is, oh, are you starting physical therapy school? Oh, are you going to grad school? Because that's what I have been telling everyone for the past 4 years. And I felt confident in my response to say, no, I decided to take a year off. I wasn't ready. I hadn't made sense of everything in school. I hadn't mastered everything I had to master, and I wasn't able to contribute everything that I needed to contribute. And the moment that you say that to someone, they're like, wow, like, how do you know that? Like, how did you come to that realization? And I was like, I took my why. And if you've never heard of why, you should take it because it's very impactful. Even in post grad, but even people who have been in careers for 15, 20 plus years and are wanting a career change or wanting to go down a different avenue. It's not just people who are, in undergrad. I think it's for anyone that kind of wants to make a change or wants to understand why they no longer kind of enjoy the work that they do, and want to make a change.
All right. Thank you so much, Emma, for all of your insightful answers. Now, beyond career changes, let's also explore how knowing your why has influenced your personal growth and overall fulfillment. So, this may be where the true transformation often occurs, right? So, in what ways has knowing your why influenced your own personal growth?
I think that's a great question. I think with my personal growth, knowing that, having a why of make sense, mastery, and contribute, I think that drives my personal and professional decisions. So my personal growth, being able to say no on certain projects that I know I will not be good at, or, being able to say no on a project that is required within 24 hours when I know it'll take me a little bit longer, especially if it's a new project that I have to do. I think knowing that and being able to drive my decisions based on that makes me more confident in my decisions. It also helps me grow as a person because I know what I can take on and what I can't take on. Having my why, it also has helped me set boundaries, kind of what I stated before, being able to say no and saying like, I can't do this. It has 100% helped me ask for help more. I think before in college, I was super fast to just say, no, I'll figure it out myself. It's fine. Like, I don't need any help. Like, I'll figure it out. But now knowing that my whys make sense, I usually sit down with my team and kind of give my thoughts about stuff, almost a teach back moment, right? If I understand it, then we're good to go. I think that has helped a lot. My quality of work has improved a lot, knowing that I'm able to ask for help because I need to make sense of the complex. So I think just the personal growth overall of kind of knowing myself better, being able to say no to things when I don't feel like they're capable of, that I'm capable of that, being able to take a little bit longer on projects and being able to articulate that to people, right? I'm sorry that I can't get this project done in X amount of hours or X amount of days. I have to make sense of things and I have to master things before I can actually give my good work. And usually they're like, "Oh, great. Thank you for letting me know. Like, we'll push it back a week and we'll get that done." So I think just personal growth overall, just knowing myself better has really improved. Yeah.
And has knowing yourself better had any positive changes in your work-life balance and overall personal well-being since you've aligned with your why?
Absolutely. I think as um, I believe I'm a Gen Zer. I'm not 100% sure, but being able to set those boundaries um, is something that is super important to me. I cannot be turned on with work all the time. I have to, switch off sometimes. I have to take a breather. I think that helps with, my why of makes sense, being able to really ruminate in the details, figure it out in my head, trying to make sure that the puzzle pieces all work together. I think that is something that has really helped a lot, especially in my work life balance. I think not taking work home with me, and kind of, troubleshooting stuff at the office or speaking to someone at the office when I need help rather than trying to get them on a phone at 7 and 8 o'clock at night, which is something that I would never do. If someone had called me, I would have been like, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I think just having those boundaries within my why, as well as knowing my team's why. all the people on my team know their why. So even with people who are right ways and people who are better ways and people who are contributors and challengers, I am able to draft emails better. I'm able to ask questions better. I'm able to get information, from those people better. I'm not going to go to a right way person and ask them to start a new program because they already want a proven program. That's something that I will ask someone who's a better way. They will love to tinker with stuff all day long. So when I don't really feel like doing that, I will give that to a better way and they'll be able to work through that. So I think the work-life balance, not only internally in myself, but with the team around me, I think knowing your why has really, really helped a lot. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So now we've seen your journey towards personal growth as well as professional growth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you detail any achievements or milestones you reached since starting your new career path?
So I started off as an admin, like kind of receptionist, making sure the office was tidy, organized. I did little tasks here and there. I used to send emails under Andrew's email, so I didn't even have my own email. I was just basically drafting emails as him. I think as I, learned certain processes, kind of how the business works, I got really I got my hands dirty in the CRM system. I learned how that worked. As I kind of learned those things, I flourished really fast and I flourished just so amazing in my career. I never thought in a million years that like I would kind of be doing this kind of work and enjoying this kind of work. But I just learned more and more and I was more knowledgeable and I was able to take on little tasks here and there. And then from there, I was able to just like take on more roles, learn more things, implement new things with team members, optimize, certain processes. And now I am here running my dad's business. So I went from just doing little tasks here and there to running the entire operation because I know the operation like the back of my hand. I know how things work. I know where things are. I don't want to say literally everything, but I feel like I know a majority of every single thing. If someone has a question, I am the encyclopedia for the company.
And how has your why contributed to all of these personal and professional successes?
Yeah, I mean, just being able to, again, make sense of the complex. Life is not an easy path. No, work is not either. Just being able to make sense of everything, being able to master the things in front of me, being able to give in the time to be able to master those things. I think having a great team that allows me to take a little bit longer on things and get things to me earlier so that I have time to review them and master them and help provide my insights, I think has just overall just helped just everything in the business.
And what lessons or insights have you gained from this whole experience?
I think just like I said earlier, just being able to ask questions and being able to be confident in knowing that I made the right decision personally to change my career path. I think just overall knowing, being able to have a explanation and being able to just express my feelings through my why. So, I have to make something complex. Like I'm not, there's 9 whys. I'm not a challenger. I'm not a better way. I'm not a clarifier. I'm not any of those things. Like I just have to make sense of something. It could be any class, it could be any topic. If I can make sense of it and I can master it, I will know it and I'll be able to implement it into my own personal and professional life. So I think just knowing that and being able to explain that to my team, especially when things get stressful. I think that's important in business. Being able to communicate to someone like, I'm not ready because I haven't made sense of it yet, or I'm not ready because it's not clear enough yet for me. I think that's something that I'm able to speak to someone about, and they're able to understand that from me. And we're not just, chasing our tails and not knowing each other and not knowing each other's personally and knowing our why.
Right, congratulations on all of your achievements.
Thank you so
So
much.
it's so clear to us now that aligning yourself with your why, your sense of purpose, it helps a lot in fueling your successes. So, as we near the end of our interview, we'd love to hear your advice for other people seeking to discover their own why. So, what advice would you give to others seeking to discover their why in their career choices?
I think the first thing I would like to say apart from why is I like to give the example of when there's a rock in your shoe, you feel it. As much as you continue to walk, as much as you try to ignore it, you will always feel that rock in your shoe. Whether it's at your heel, whether it's at your toes, you'll always know it's there. And I think recognizing it, taking your shoe off and taking that rock out, I think is the step of being able to say, I'm not ready to pursue this career. I don't think I'm in the right, that's a hard thing to say, especially to parents who have either, paid for your education or have thought that you're going to be pursuing this education or this career path for X number of years. I think that was one thing that just took a lot of bravery on my side. And then ultimately taking my why, just lifting that stress off of my chest and being able to think, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been thinking for the past year. I think anyone who ever has the feeling that they don't think they're in the right career path, if they're waking up every day, not enjoying their job, right? We can't 100% love our jobs. There's going to be days that are not great. We're going to have stressful days. We're going to have days where like, why are we doing this? But aligning your career to your why will minimize drastically the amount of days that you will have that you will feel like that. So anyone that feels, okay, I've already been in this career for so many years, I can't get out of it now, I'm too deep. It's never too late. Like you can always change your career. You can always find something that you want to do that you think you'll be better at. And knowing your why will help guide you in that. Someone who is a challenger, they make their own boss. They don't want to be bossed by anyone else. They want to be their own, they want to be their own boss. So that person should not go into a role where they're going to have a manager or they're going to have someone over them. They should really be an entrepreneur or run their own business. So knowing certain things like that, I think is super important, and it's super helpful, especially for people who don't even know where to start. They think I don't think I'm good at anything. I don't really enjoy anything that much. I need to just start something. I need to make money. But being able to align your why to your career while also earning income is amazing. And I would recommend it to anyone who even, loves their job, right? And and just able to articulate better what they do. Some people are lucky to just get into a career that they love and that they wake up every day and they enjoy it. But I can bet 9 times out of 10, if I know what your career is, I will probably know what your why is. And when you take your why, you will probably get that why. So I'll be able to guess what it is. So the why is super important. I really recommend it to anyone who is a little lost, doesn't really know where to start, and also just wants some more clarity in their career.
Can you share any resources that have helped you along your journey?
Yeah, so our firm is actually YOS certified. So we have coaches in the US, Ireland, UK, and South Africa. So we help people all over the world discover their why. You can go straight to our website. We're forleafperformance.com. You're able to just click that YOS box right at the top. You're able to discover your why there. It only takes about 10 minutes of a discovery. You'll get a personalized link. From there, it's seamless. You just sit there and you take your assessment. And then after that, you will get a results page. You'll get a 30-minute debrief with a coach. So we're not just going to give you your results and let you run with it. It's good to talk the results through with someone, ask any follow-up questions, especially inputting, kind of where you are right now in your life, and then inputting that into the YOS. So you'll get all of that included in the fee that's on the website. Yeah.
What are the key takeaways from your journey with aligning with your why?
I would say clarity is the biggest thing. Knowing how I operate, knowing how I'm able to speak to people better. I'm able to understand myself better. I'm able to get a better quality of work done. I think just all of those things have just helped immensely with knowing my why.
Okay, awesome. So let's reiterate the significance of understanding one's why in shaping your career paths.
Mm-hmm. I'll give a separate example than myself because I feel like everyone that's watching this is understands that I'm a make sense mastery contribute. But um, for example, I know someone who's a challenger. He he enjoys the work that he does, but he works under someone. They give him instruction on how to do things, which is normal in any career. But he loves to go by the beat of his own drum. He likes to make his own rules. He likes to create his own process of things, which is not a troublemaker sort of response, right? Like he's not just trying to make um, issues out of things, right? But he works best by being his own boss. And knowing that he's currently not in that career, no wonder he's not happy, right? So knowing that he will get to that point eventually, it is nice to know that in the future, he will get to that. He will get to that point where he can run his own business, be his own boss, and be a lot more happier in his career. Another example being my own dad, Andrew, he being a better way in his career. He had a great career in corporate. He loved it. We traveled the world with it. I was able to see a lot of the world. I'm very blessed to be able to say that. But towards the end of it, his career, his roles changed in corporate, and it did not align to his values and what he enjoyed doing. And ultimately, he had to leave, and he could not articulate to his team why he did not enjoy the work that he did anymore. He had been there for 20, 25 plus years. So like just to get up one day and say, this isn't what I want to do. And then about 18 months later, after leaving that career, starting his own business, learning about the why, knowing that his why is better way, there's a reason why he left that job. He wasn't able to make things better. He wasn't able to find a better way of doing things. All he was doing was cutting budget, firing people, putting documents where they need to be. It was not an enjoyable work. I don't really think for anyone. But knowing that his why is better way and knowing that he wants to make an impact on people's lives by making them better and helping people be better, helping systems be better, processes be better, just overall businesses improve and be better, I think has shown him that he did make the right decision to leave and create his own job and create his own career. Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the importance of aligning personal values with career choices?
I think just knowing that when your personal values align with your career choice, like I said, like you wake up loving your job, you wake up every day, not feeling drained or not feeling good enough. I think when you align those two things, it makes life a lot easier. Obviously, like I said, not every day is going to be a great day, but knowing that what you're doing at work aligns to your personal values, you don't get tired as fast. You're more up for things. You want to do more in the business. And I think when you're able to align those, obviously first you need to know your why, right? But just having that and knowing that in the back of your head that you've made the right decision, I think is also super helpful for anyone that is pursuing a career, wanting to change a career, wanting to, improve in the career they already have.
All right, and there you have it, a captivating journey of self-discovery and transformation. Thank you so much, Emma, for being with us today. And let's see. So thank you so much for everyone joining us today for this interview. If you found today's episode inspiring, be sure to subscribe, like, and share our content with others who might find it interesting. Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nona.